Hey guys, Mike here over in Taiwan. I want to talk to you about like this weird thing that happened to me. So actually this never happens to me, so it's kind of weird. But so I was doing a live stream while I was doing my online English lesson, and somebody came on and started ranting to me about and calling me all these names and saying like weird stuff. And usually this stuff doesn't bother me, and I don't even give it like the time of day. Actually, it didn't really bother me at all. It was actually just kind of distracting because I was like just trying to focus on the lesson, and I was just like wondering, like, you know, what is this guy like on about or whatever it is. And he kept saying stuff like yeah, you're a grown man, you shouldn't do this and online, and nobody's listening to you, and you're fat, and I was like, what? Like, where's this like animosity coming from? And I've already like seen videos where the guy's saying that usually when people are on these like weird tirades, it's like 99% about them and it's like 0% about you. Now the thing is though that it's a little bit strange because first of all it's a stranger, and second of all they're behind a window, or like a one-way window anyway. So I have no idea who this person is. I didn't even look at their profile. I didn't even bother to just go and block them anyway. So it's a little strange. And it makes me actually like think like of something like back to high school or something, where, you know, people, they just are lashing out at me. I'll just kind of give you guys a little bit of a weird story. So there's this guy Alex, and actually it's kind of weird. Later I realized that he had 5 kids with the same woman, but there was like some kind of weird thing that was going on with him. He passed away, but here's the point. Is that I used to think that he was kind of a cool guy, or like whatever. He would just like invite like a bunch of us to like hang out and play basketball, whatever. And then just one day he was having a bad day, so he would just say all these like bad things to me, like how he wants to hurt me and blah blah blah. And you know, I was like, okay, cool, so like whatever. So I just stayed away from him, and nothing ever happened of it. But the point is that weird negative energy was directed towards me, and at the time I didn't really know what to do with it, except for like, okay, I need to protect myself, right? So and like I said, like nothing happened. And it was weird too, because like Alex was like friends with like these other 2 or 3 guys, and they kind of all had it out for me, and I don't know if this is necessarily a pattern, but like all of them, like they kind of spoke English as a second language, and whatever it is, it's neither here nor there. Obviously I'm born in Canada, right? So I don't have a problem with that. So for them, they just kind of had it out for me. Maybe they thought that I thought that I was better than them or something, and that's a really, I think honestly that's kind of one of the dumbest things or reasons to lash out at somebody, because you do not have control over what the way that somebody thinks about you. So why would you be responsible for their thinking, right? And that's just kind of the way that I think. So if anybody has kind of a superiority complex for me or something, like I don't really care about lashing out at them because it's their prerogative and I can't control it anyway. So getting back to this, is it like some weird hater person? I don't know. Actually, I have absolutely no idea about this person and these people online. So I guess that randomly my feed or my live stream went over to them, so they just had something that they needed to do. And I mean, like, especially now these days because of AI and whatnot, like, you know, I don't even know if this is probably some like AI thing. Maybe it could be. Maybe it could be some AI chatbot thing that somebody like invented over in some country that I've never been to and I never want to go to. And that's fine, because like after I would say maybe 20 or 30 minutes of it, like they just kept like blah 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 blah, and then it just randomly just stopped, and then I just kept going on with my lesson. So I'm just here like staring at this screen of all this like these weird chats that are like going around about me, and I was wearing like an AR filter anyway, so like they don't know anything about me, they don't know who I am, and okay, that's fine. I mean, you could also kind of look at it this way, that, you know, some people, they have like nothing better to do with their lives except for to randomly go online and say weird expletives to people that they don't know, and that's fine. That's your prerogative, because that's the way that you choose to use your time. So I don't know what to say about it exactly, about like maybe there's probably some weird psychology like going on about it, because my brain just doesn't work that way. I don't like to waste time getting mad at people that I don't know, calling people names. Like, it's like, why? I think, I mean, also it has to do with their family situation. It could be like their friends. Maybe they were raised, they were just raised to be put down all the time. You know, it's weird how some of these like big bully guys, and I'm not saying that this person is a big bully, because maybe there's just some short bully that lives at home in their mom's basement. I don't know. Is that like inside they are just like this little boy who just kept getting hurt or whatever from somebody who was bigger than them, so that now that they're bigger, they have all this energy and all this anger to take it out on other people who are smaller than them and whatever it is. And it kind of like this vicious cycle, right? Because you got these bully, and then they see somebody who is smaller than them that they can pick on, and then they just, you know, blah 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 blah, and then this other smaller person like learns Brazilian jiu-jitsu and chokes them out in front of the whole school, or, you know, does something like whatever, or maybe they just avoid this person for the rest of their lives, right? And then this big person, when they get older, you know, and this short person is like more successful or whatever than them, then they say, hey, look, you know, I was really sorry that I like did that to you in high school or whatever. And then the short person's like, well, yeah, that's okay or whatever. But meanwhile, on the inside, they're like, why did you do this to me? Why are you such a horrible person? Anyway, that's kind of like a little bit away from the topic about that. I just don't really like this weird energy that people will just like kind of throw at me. And it's actually happened to me too when I was like living in the other place that I used to work at, doing a teaching job. And they would just, and I realized too what it is. It's about like testing boundaries with people. Like how far can I get with this person who's just kind of being nice to me and whatever, and are they equipped to deal with the situation? How much can I disrespect somebody, right? And it's really sad that in this day and age that you have to actually find out a plan or figure out how to deal with that, especially if there's like this huge crowd of people, and then somebody is going to be like a heckler, and they're going to disrespect you in front of like all these people. If you're in a situation where you're doing comedy, that's actually an advantage, because you could just throw jokes back at them and then eventually get the security to go and escort them out. If this is like maybe some other type of situation, maybe even some type of a business situation where you're like the boss, and then one of the lowly employees who doesn't even care about getting fired or not will start saying all these things. Maybe they'll even bring up some personal grievances that they have against you, or some personal thing that they have like with your family, like how can you lead us when you're getting divorced, or something like silly like that. And people at the time, they don't really realize that like what this is, but at the same time, you should just like handle it with a certain type of, you could say, for example, I know that there's something that's wrong with you in this situation, and we'll kind of deal with it later. Thank you very much for telling me that, or whatever it is. Or you could say like something where, or you don't even have to say anything. You could just say like, you know what, I thought that you were better than that. Or you could say, I know that you're going through something, or that you're angry at me, and I don't know why. You don't necessarily have to say that you don't care about whatever they're, even though if you really, inside of your heart, you don't really care. But what you can say is, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to get at. Maybe I'm trying to tell you guys about the way that I would handle the situation if it happened to me again. But like I was saying, that 99% of the time when people, they have kind of this negative energy towards you, if you're a stranger, towards you, if maybe you're an acquaintance or something, it's about them. And they just kind of see you as a target, because you're not going to do anything back to them. Maybe you won't like hurt them. Who's this? I think it was like Joe Rogan or something. Like, he had this situation where this guy like kept like tapping her or something. He says, touch me again, and I'm going to put you in a headlock, right? So then this guy, he was this drunk guy at this bar, and he's like, he's like, okay, I'll do it again. So boom, he just like put him into a headlock. It was like a guillotine headlock. And the guy's like, I don't know. Sometimes these people, they just need to get humbled. And I saw this other video where this guy, like, he has his glasses, and like some bully guy's like, blah blah blah, I won't back down. So then the other guy, he's like, he grabbed him by the neck, and then He's like, you know what? And then boom, just put him down with the judo throw. And, you know, that's what sometimes people need. You don't necessarily have to do it in actuality, but, you know, you just have to do it with your words.